The European Society for Medical Oncology has concluded its annual meeting. The event was held virtually for the second consecutive year. Oncology specialists from around the world presented the latest advances in the fight against cancer, with a special emphasis on the molecular characterization and treatment of lung cancer, melanoma, and breast cancer, and the effects of COVID-19 vaccinations on cancer patients. The pandemic has been particularly challenging for patients with cancer considered to be at higher risk of severe illness from the coronavirus. And it seems that hematological and lung malignancies and the presence of metastatic disease are associated with a persistently increased risk. But according to the CAPTURE study, which looked at the immune responses of cancer patients, overall, it was discovered that disease status and therapies did not correlate directly with immune responses, and it is conceivable that the efficacy and safety of vaccination against COVID-19 may be similar to that of people without cancer, although much more data is needed for those patients on immunosuppressive treatments. We're so happy to have Dr. Antonio Passaro joining us for his impressions on the conference. Dr. Passaro is a medical oncologist at the Division of Thoracic Oncology of the European Institute of Oncology in Milan and a member of the ESMO Council. Last year, as you know, cancer patients were excluded from the initial trials looking at the safety of COVID-19 vaccines, but a set of studies released at ESMO paints a clearer picture. What did they reveal?
The CAPTURE trial was the England trial developed in England that evaluate the impact, the response of the immunity after the COVID vaccination, both in patients that have a previous infection with the COVID and also in patients that receive a vaccination. So the results confirm that for our patient, we need a full vaccination. And the results confirm also that the new data that will be presented 2 or 3 days ago in New England Journal of Medicine by the Israeli cohort of patients that received 3 shots of vaccination confirm that this is the way to protect, to prioritize our patients. So the answer is a yes, we have to vaccinate all of our cancer patients, and we can assure them that the vaccine is very active regardless of the kind of treatment. That this is very important for all of us.
Now, on the breast cancer treatment landscape, how practice changing are the results of 2 phase 3 trials of antibody drug conjugates targeting HER2 in patients with HER2 positive metastatic breast cancer?
These new kind of drugs, the antibody drugs conjugate, are all, of course, have the future, have a very intelligent kind of molecular. And in particular for breast cancer, and also as presented in the ESMO in lung cancer, in the preliminary data, these drugs are very, very active and very targeting the disease also without a real target. So in breast cancer, the trial focused on the HER2 positive, and in the lung cancer target also EGFR by the other drugs. So I'm very sure, Mabel, that these new drugs are at the beginning of the changing the clinical practice for patients with breast cancer.
Is it important to note that the results included a combination or patients that were previously treated with taxane chemotherapy?
Yes. This trial enrolled pre-treated patients that receive just trastuzumab and taxane treatment. So all the patient was pre-treated, and at the time of disease progression, they was enrolled in the trial and were randomized to receive trastuzumab and deruxtecan compared to the T-DM1.
Do you believe these results could further increase interest in antibody drug conjugates?
Yeah, so of course, these are new frontiers in the cancer research, and there are many trials at the present time ongoing in breast, in lung, in gastrointestinal disease. So I'm sure that the use of antibody drug conjugates will be the standard in different settings for in the next years.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Antonio Passaro. We really appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Dr. Antonio Passaro, a medical oncologist at the Division of Thoracic Oncology of the European Institute of Oncology in Milan and a member of the ESMO Council.